My name is Walter Thompson. I'm 82 years old, and if you had driven through my neighborhood a few years ago, you probably wouldn't have noticed me. I was just an old man sitting on a porch. Every morning I would carry my coffee outside, lower myself into the same wooden chair, and watch the world pass by. People hurried to work. Kids rode their bikes. Dogs barked. Seasons changed. And I sat there, day after day, year after year. Most people assumed I was lonely. The truth is, they were right. But loneliness doesn't arrive all at once. It sneaks into your life, quietly, so quietly that you barely notice it happening. 12 years earlier, I had lost my wife, Margaret. We had been married for 56 years. 56 years of shared breakfasts, road trips, arguments over nothing, and laughter over everything. Then one morning, she was gone, just like that. The house that had once felt warm suddenly felt enormous. Every room echoed, every chair seemed empty, every memory hurt. At first, friends visited, neighbors checked in, my children called often, but life moves forward. People get busy, grandchildren grow up, friends pass away. Phone calls become less frequent, visits become shorter. Eventually, most days passed without me speaking to anyone. I developed a routine. Wake up, make coffee, sit on the porch, watch the world, repeat. It wasn't much of a life, but it was enough to get through the day. Or at least that's what I told myself. One rainy Tuesday afternoon changed everything. I remember it clearly. The sky was gray. The streets were nearly empty. I was sitting on my porch when I noticed a young woman standing across the road. She looked frustrated. She kept staring at her phone and then looking around. After a few minutes, I slowly walked over. "Are you lost?" I asked. She laughed. "Actually, yes." Her car's GPS had stopped working and her phone battery was nearly dead. I pointed her toward the address she was trying to find. She smiled. "Thank you, sir." Then she paused. "Can I ask you something?" "Sure." "Why do you sit on this porch every day?" The question caught me off guard. Nobody had asked me anything personal in a very long time. I shrugged. "I guess I've gotten used to it." She looked at me for a moment. Then she said something I will never forget. "Sometimes getting used to something isn't the same as living." Then she thanked me again and walked away. I stood there watching her disappear around the corner. Her words stayed with me all night. Sometimes getting used to something isn't the same as living. The next morning I sat in my usual chair, but for the first time in years I felt uncomfortable. I realized I wasn't really living. I was waiting for time to pass, waiting for tomorrow, waiting for nothing. That afternoon, I made a decision, a small one, but important. I walked to the local library. I hadn't been inside a library in decades. The young librarian welcomed me with a smile. I checked out 2 books. The following week, I returned. Then I attended a community event. The week after that, I joined a local history group. At first, it felt awkward. I was older than almost everyone there. But people were kind. They listened. They laughed at my stories. And slowly I began laughing too. Months passed. Then something remarkable happened. I started making friends again. Real friends. Not the kind who merely wave from a distance. The kind who call to see how you're doing. The kind who save you a seat. The kind who remember your birthday. One evening, a group of us met for dinner. As I looked around the table, I realized something. For years, I had believed my best days were behind me. I thought adventure belonged to the young. I thought meaningful friendships had an expiration date. I thought life had already given me everything it intended to give. I was wrong. Life wasn't finished with me, not even close. A year later, I started volunteering at a local community center. I helped children with reading. I shared stories from my life. I listened to theirs. One little boy asked me one day, "Mr. Walter, what's the most important thing you've learned?" I thought about it carefully. Then I answered, "Never confuse existing with living." He looked confused. Honestly, I don't blame him. At his age, those words probably sounded strange. But someday he'll understand. Many people spend years simply existing. They follow routines. They stay inside their comfort zones. They tell themselves they'll start living tomorrow, next week, next month, next year. But tomorrow isn't promised. The older I get, the more I understand that life isn't measured by years. It's measured by moments. Moments of connection. Moments of courage. Moments when you choose to step outside the life you've become comfortable with. Today, I'm 82 years old. Every morning I still sit on my porch with a cup of coffee, but now it's different. Neighbors stop to talk. Friends call. Children from the community center wave when they pass by. And every so often I think about that young woman in the rain. I never saw her again. I don't even know her name. But she gave me a gift, a simple sentence, a simple reminder. Sometimes getting used to something isn't the same as living. If you're listening to my story right now, maybe that's a reminder you needed too. No matter your age, no matter your circumstances, no matter how much time has passed, there is still life waiting for you. And sometimes all it takes to find it again is one small step beyond the porch.